this technology is not the music. It's just a tool to create the music. So if you're over relying on this technology, that's where the problem's going to come in. It can get you maybe 80% of the way there, but if you stop right there, that's a huge mistake. The next 20%, that has to be your sacred creativity, your humanity, whether we're talking about music, visual art, writing, anything.
Yes.
Because we have creativity and we have souls to like pull our emotions from.
Yeah.
AI doesn't. AI knows how to follow instructions. Creativity is about breaking the rules, not following them.
It's the Inspiration Place podcast with artist Miriam Schulman. Welcome to the Inspiration Place podcast, an art world insider podcast for artists by an artist, where each week we go behind the scenes to uncover the perspiration and inspiration behind the art. And now, your host, Miriam Schulman.
Well, hey there, it's Miriam Schulman here, your curator of inspiration, and welcome to episode number 314 of the Inspiration Place podcast. Today, I'm bringing you a special conversation I had with the incredible Jess E for her recent summit, and she generously shared that conversation with me so I can share it with you. So in this episode, we talk about why you as an artist do not need to fear AI, but can actually embrace it to enhance your creativity and how to use it in business. I'll be sharing with you why you have nothing to fear from AI, as well as 5 tools that we use every single week inside our creative business. I know you're absolutely going to love this conversation.
All right, Marian, I'm so excited to talk with you today about how artists don't have to be scared of AI, but they can actually embrace it and thrive in their creativity. Your best-selling book, The Artpreneur, How to Make Money from Your Creativity. You have your book everywhere. I mean, it's everywhere. So this AI portion is new, right? So this is kind of a new thing that you've done.
So my book, Artpreneur, came out in January of 23, around the same time that ChatGPT kind of debuted. Am I right? Isn't that?
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. So there were a couple things that were happening around the time that my book came out. First of all, when you go on a lot of interviews for your book or you go on a podcast tour, it really is an opportunity to find out, oh, wait, I didn't talk about that. And I didn't talk about that. So there was 2 things I got pushed back on. One is, what about talent? Like, don't you have to be talented? And Jess, here's the thing that I want everyone listening to hear. And it's kind of sad, but we all wish that it was just about the talent.
Yeah.
We really do. And then we look at Sue over there. I'm just making up a name. Sue over there, who is like doing really well. And I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. What's so great about her?
Yeah.
Like, she sucks, or maybe she doesn't suck, but she's like, I'm better than her. Why is she doing so well?
She's okay.
Then,
like, she's pretty good.
Yeah, like
okay.
maybe she doesn't stink, but she's meh.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And then we have, Jonathan over here, who's like majorly talented and he's struggling.
Oh.
And it's like, why? So the thing is that when it comes down to it, it's like your mindset and your marketing is going to matter so much more than any kind of innate talent. So there's too many people now, especially in my world, but I think it's true in all the artist worlds, is like they want the art to sell itself.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. And it's like Taylor Swift. You think her music just sells itself? No, she has a complete brand.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. So here's why I say, and both of these things tie together. This is why I say that musicians, artists don't have anything to fear from AI. The reason why, I'm glad you brought up Taylor Swift. The reason why she's so mega successful is she understood from the very beginning how much her humanity mattered.
Yes.
And like she had this $1 billion tour. And what do we hear about? That she's giving tips to the truck drivers, right?
Mm.
Like she really cares on this human level. And now we are in a world where you can stream music for like free or for $9.99 a month or whatever it is, depending where you're streaming it and how many commercials you want to listen to. Yep. You can stream the world's music, right? And yet there's more money than there's ever been in the music industry. Like people are shelling out so much money for Taylor Swift tickets. They're shelling out so much money to see U2. The reason why people is because they want the real thing. They don't want something that's AI-ified.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
And even in the visual world too, it's like, I read this article in the New York Times recently how they're actually spending more time and more money to make their AI images look less AI-like because people don't like them.
Yeah. They know it's fake. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't like fakes.
No. So what are we supposed to do as artists who do value great work, who do value talent, who do value...
What I'm trying to tell you is that your customers do also. They value your creativity. Yeah. That's why you have nothing to fear from AI. You can fear your own laziness and like not wanting to market, like that you can still be scared of. So that's what I'm saying. It's not about, you can't just rely on your talent to sell itself. You still have to market. You still have to do stuff. Taylor Swift did, and so do you. I remember hearing this story, and maybe you've heard this story, maybe you can fill in the details too, is that really early on when she was very ambitious, one of her managers had said to her, if you really want to be successful, you have to meet everybody after every show. And she, in their early days, she actually did that. She would like, this is why she has built such a raving fan base, because she put in those hours of really understanding exactly who her market is and who her customer is.
Yeah. Yeah. And she still does to this day. So, let's talk about this. So, okay, AI is coming in and we're creatives. How do we utilize AI versus, because obviously, okay, so we have nothing to fear. So people do.
This is nothing new. Okay. So you ever look at, I know this is like predates both of us, but the music people who collect vinyl, which by the way, there's another thing. People are spending so much money on vinyl.
Yes.
Why? They want the real thing. They want something that they can hold in their hand. Okay. So my husband has a huge vinyl collection. And if you pull out the album Boston, this is the one that has the spaceship on it. If you're like pulling a blank, it's because it's music from the 70s, but people who are really into vinyl, they know Boston. Okay. It's a major band. Okay. And they were one of the first ones to really use like synthesizers and things like that. And they put this, and it's a bunch of MIT guys, by the way, who like put together this band out of Boston. So on the back of the album, they have this whole manifesto about how this technology is not the music. This technology is just a tool to create the music. So if you're over relying on this technology, that's where the problem's going to come in. It can get you maybe 80% of the way there, but if you stop right there, that's a huge mistake. The next 20%, that has to be your sacred creativity, your humanity, whether we're talking about music, visual art, writing, anything. We are much smarter than computers.
Yes.
Because we have creativity and we have souls and we have screwed up childhoods to like pull our emotions from.
Yeah.
AI doesn't.
No.
AI knows how to follow instructions. Creativity is about breaking the rules, not following them.
Right. Well, and so do you have some examples of how we can utilize AI? Maybe, I don't know if you've worked with clients with AI recently or if that's...
Yes, I do. I'm not a Luddite. It's not that I say don't use AI, of course. It's kind of like saying not to use a calculator.
Yeah.
Right. But that's not going to take away the physicist in the world just because we have a calculator and a computer. It just isn't. So the things that I use AI for with my clients is we do a lot of ideation using AI. We do data mining using AI. So we do stuff like that. But it still has to be, it's like what you put in and the instructions you give it is going to matter a lot. And then how you finish it at the end, like that last 20%. So it's kind of like it's what's called a last mile problem. Have you ever heard of that, Jess? The last mile?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Okay. So the hardest part or the most expensive part of delivering, like let's say Amazon shipping and all that, it's not about getting something. And where do you live in the world? Remind me.
I'm in California. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not about getting something from New York to California.
Yeah.
That's not the most expensive part. The most expensive part is getting it to your front door. Like that's 50% of the cost is just that last mile, that last bit. And that is why artists don't have anything to fear from AI, because AI is just about going from New York to California. It's not about getting it to your front door.
Okay.
Like you can write a series of emails, but is that anything anybody really wants to read if it's just produced by the computer?
Yeah.
Not at all. Because basically AI did, so this is for all those writers out there as well.
Yeah.
Like the way ChatGPT works is it read the entire internet and then it serves that to you. The entire internet is not like great literature. It's pretty meh.
Yeah.
So it's going to replicate all the mistakes as well.
Right. Yep. I mean, so taking it that extra mile, that's really where the magic comes in, is what you're saying.
That's right. And that's what us artists have always done. And AI can just be one more instrument that we use, one more tool that we use, like one more paintbrush, one more,
vehicle.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like one more thing that we're used.
Exactly.
You can't take away the artist. You can't take away the musician. You can't take away that sacred creativity that we as humans have that computers don't.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I even heard a coach, it's like, oh, sorry, songwriters, like she's not a songwriter. I'm like, wait. You can't just say like, oh, sorry, all the work that you've done for the last few years.
No.
Toilet.
Okay.
There are people who are saying it.
No, in my gym, they type in this crap that you can tell is just like how you can spot an AI image a mile away. Usually they're purple. All right. And then sometimes I see catalogs where they have been using AI models and I'm like, ew, really?
Yeah.
And then the AI songs, they're so weird. Like it'll have
they're so weird.
the lyrics, it'll have like Raspberry Beret, which is pulled from a Prince song, but it like makes no sense in the context. It's like, because it's basically pulling words from like songs that are popular and putting them together. They're so weird.
They're so weird. What was the last one I heard? It was something about I was like a butt beer or something like that. Yeah. It was so weird. Like,
nobody wants to listen to that. Nobody comes out of the locker room singing Raspberry Beret to a different tune. It's like, it was weird. Like, and I would put on earplugs every time I go into my locker room at the gym. I was like, stop it. Hey there. So it's Miriam here interrupting this juicy conversation. Sorry about that. We'll be getting right back after these words. But I wanted to ask you, if you've already read or listened to Artpreneur, whether you got the book out from the library, whether you bought it from a bookstore, whether it was the Kindle, the physical book, whatever format you consume the book, would you please take a moment to leave an honest review of Artpreneur on Amazon to help spread the word about the book? In return for your review, we'll offer you a free guide called 52 Art Journal Prompts, which is perfect for you if you want to get back into art journaling, if you want to get back into regular journaling. Perhaps you're looking for small and welcoming routines to stay in that Artpreneur mindset. or maybe you just want to push out of your comfort zone and into your art. The prompts in this guide are designed to help you get clear about your style, your goals, and inspire your creativity. Leaving a review not only helps me as the author, but it's one of the most powerful ways to let the algorithm as well as the publisher know the importance of art. So by leaving a review, you're helping to pay it forward to other art lovers. To get your 52 art journal prompts, all you have to do is leave a review, take a screenshot of it, and email it back to my team. My email is miriam@theinspirationplace.net. And by the way, if you haven't bought the book yet, there are a bunch of book bonuses that you're also missing out on. So if you send us a copy of your review, we'll make sure you get your hands on every last one of those book bonuses, including Artpreneur Insights, the Artpreneur Affirmation Art Journal video series, the Artpreneur Appendix. And of course, you'll get instant access to chapter number 1 so that you can dive into the book while you are waiting for your physical book to arrive. All right, my friend, thank you so much for being part of my world. Again, leave a review over at schulmanart.com/Amazon. That is just a link that'll take you directly to the Amazon site where Artpreneur is, or you can search your orders or do it the traditional way. All right, my friend, thank you so much for being here. And now let's get back to the show.
Okay, so we don't have anything to fear because creativity cannot be replaced, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, let's talk about what creativity actually is.
Okay, great.
To talk about creativity, you really have to talk about what the human soul is, which we know that computers don't have a soul. Can we all agree on that, right?
Yes, we can agree on that.
We can agree on that. Okay. So the human soul has two sides. It is the creative side and the sacred side. The creative side cares about how and what.
Mm-hmm.
This is where people get confused because they think talent is just what and how, like how well they do something.
Right.
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 What's important is the sacred side. If you want to be a Taylor Swift, you have to care about the sacred side. The sacred side cares about who and why.
Mm-hmm.
And the best artists are integrating both.
Right.
They're integrating both in the art that they create, and they're integrating both in the way that they market and sell it to the world.
Right. Now, the first thing that I think of when I think of Taylor Swift is she has a team. You know, how can ChatGPT be part of your team?
Oh,
Just make them part of the team and not like the person. You know what I mean?
okay,
Like,
great question. First of all, I believe that everyone should have a business babysitter. That is something I talk about in my book,
I
Artpreneur.
like that.
So when I started my art business, I had 2 young kids. So instead of paying a babysitter to watch my kids while I can do whatever it was I was doing back in the day on my computer, I would pay somebody to do the stuff that didn't need to be done by me, but pay them babysitting rate while I spent time with my kids.
That's good.
So I call it the business babysitter. Now, you don't have to have kids to have a business babysitter. So this is what then eventually evolved into my team. The question you asked me, though, is how can ChatGPT be part of your team? One of my favorite ways to use ChatGPT right now is to answer customer service issues, like difficult
Heard of that.
customers.
Okay.
Because it doesn't get emotional.
Yeah.
And we always read something into what the person is saying. And so I would just say, what I always do is I say, hey, I need help with answering an email. X, Y, and Z is my policy, or X, Y, and Z is, the facts. And then here's the email. And then they'll give it to me. And then I'll change all the things that sound like a robot. And then I'll answer it. So, and my team uses it as well, which, by the way, we're only talking about ChatGPT, but just big hint, my team has found that Claude, the free version of Claude, actually does a better job. Claude.
How do you spell that?
I think it's CLA. I'm not sure if it's a UDE or WD. You know what? We'll have to check that so you can link it later.
Yeah.
Will there be like notes for them to
we can put it below in the notes. Yeah.
Okay. So, this is based on research that, like, I think I read this in the journal and then I told my team, and they did write an email using that plus their own brains.
Sure.
Okay. But what's nice about ChatGPT or whatever else you use is you can start to train it. So I have a thread that I only use for customer service. So it already knows, yeah, my program comes with a 14-day money back guarantee, or yeah, it comes with mindset coaching, or yes, it comes with this or whatever. So I don't have to tell it every single time. It remembers what I already told it. So it helps me with customer service.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's huge. Cause one of my friends is doing an AI. He did an AI summit back in April. And, that was a big highlight, using AI for customer service.
Yeah.
As an artist, how can we utilize that for customer service? Because, we'll get emails.
Okay. It's not that you're going to set up a bot to answer emails for you. So let me make sure everyone understands. Okay. But we all have difficult customers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're all in a customer business, whether we know it or not. We are.
Yeah.
And maybe the customer isn't exactly the person listening to music. Maybe it's an agent. Maybe it's a place you're trying to do a gig with. So when I say customer service, I mean that very broadly. And we're very sensitive artists and we get offended very easily. And so that's why I always have to pause, not answer it based on my primitive brain, and let ChatGPT read the email, because sometimes they're able to see that, oh, she's not like accusing me of this thing I think she's doing. She's not trying to like take advantage of me. She just wants an answer here. Yeah. So then when they write back and I say, oh, they're just looking for this answer, then it makes it easier for me. And it's like this, you just pop it in and it comes back. Now, of course, you don't use exactly what it is that it wrote. But again, it's that last mile problem. It gets you like 80 to 90% of the way there. You don't have to call your mother for advice. You don't have to call your business coach for advice. You just pop it into ChatGPT and see what it says and decide what it is you're going to use. Yeah.
This is great. You have a free gift for us, though. What is your free gift?
Yes. Well, we all have these human minds. And human minds are very prone to fear. This is why we get so sensitive. That's right. And whenever we have fear, oh my gosh, that won't work for me, because that's our brain keeping us safe.
Yep.
Right? It's not an excuse. Your brain senses fear. It's going to come up with all kinds of reasons why it's not a good idea. And the more creative you are, and the smarter you are, the better you'll be at coming up with these stories. And these stories will lead you to not take inspired action and procrastinate. It will just make you feel bad about yourself. So the very first chapter of my book, Artpreneur, is choose to believe. Choose to believe. That's the name of the first chapter. I'm giving it to you for free. You can just go to schulmanart.com/believe. Or if you prefer, you can DM me over on Instagram. My handle is SCHULMANART. That's Schulman Art. And DM me the word believe, and I'll send you chapter 1 for free.
Oh,
and you'll
awesome.
Get to talk to my robot that way.
Yeah. Nice. Definitely take advantage of this beautiful chapter. And I love how straightforward you are. Like you don't beat around the bush. It's like, okay, we get that we're all sensitive. I love that you pointed out too, us creatives make up more stories than the average person to get out of things when we feel fear, because that is so
we
true.
Don't. And here's the thing. You won't know that you're just making up stories.
No,
because this feels real to you. That's why I don't call them excuses, because it doesn't feel like an excuse. It's like, oh no, Miriam, you don't understand. Like, this is the facts. Like, no, it's not. Like, that's a story. That's a story you just made up. Right.
I love it. And that I walk artists through that too. Like, we have to bring the stories to the forefront in order to create another story. So it's okay you have that story, but
that's right.
What if that story has not been serving you anymore? What if you need to believe something else? And what if you have a different story meant for you? So I think this is really, really valuable. Definitely download Miriam's free gift.
Hey Hey there, friend. So, right before we get into part 2 of this interview, where I'm going to be sharing 5 AI tools you just don't want to miss out on, I also wanted to let you know that we have created a brand new way to deliver content to you. And yes, this is absolutely free. So, what we're doing is every week, I'm going live on Amazon. Yeah, that's a thing. And if you want to check it out, you can head on over to schulmanart.com/live streams. You can either set a notification to join me live on my next live stream, or you can catch up and binge any of the past content. Of course, I'm recommending a couple of things related to what I'm talking about that you can shop on Amazon. But the real point of this is to help educate you on different topics that concern you as an artist. So, for example, we're talking about productivity tools. I'm sharing insights on my planning system. I also pull back the curtain on the exact tools I use to film my online art classes. And when I go to museums, I'm even sharing with you what I saw. And you'll get sneak peeks of all that because I'm uploading videos that I took directly at the museums and the galleries. So this is a great way for you to interact with me, get educated, and get some really inspiring content. I hope that you'll come find me over on Amazon. Again, that's schulmanart.com/live streams. Okay, and now let's get back to the inspiration place.
All right. So now we're going to talk about 5 AI tools that you can use in your business as an artist. So let's go through them, Miriam.
Okay. None of these are Procreate, by the way.
Okay.
These can be used by any kind of creative business. So I'm going to tell you from the start which 5 I came up with, and then we'll go through them one by one. So the first one is Fathom. Fathom.video. The next one is Opus Clip. The third one is ManyChat. The fourth one is Loom. And the fifth one is ChatGPT.
Huh.
Okay. Which ones do you use, Jess?
I definitely use ChatGPT and ManyChat, and I'm about to use Opus.
Okay.
So, yeah, tell us about these.
Okay, so Fathom is a really good tool, which you can get. I think you can get it for free with your Zoom account. I recently upgraded to the paid version because you can do more. You know how that is. They like give you, here's the free version. It's like the drug dealer. Here, you want this?
A little bit.
You want this AI tool for free? Okay. Oh, you want to do these other things? You got to pay me for it. Okay. So Fathom is something I use to record all of my meetings. I use that both with my coaching clients. I use it with my group meetings. And what it is great for is it was a great way, first of all, you get a transcript and you can get a summary of all the different action steps. You can highlight things in a meeting. So I like sending it to my clients after a coaching call because we have already a detailed transcript of what was said, as well as the action steps. Yeah. And I also use it with my team because sometimes I'll be rattling things off and dictating. So it's really just an AI note taker, but it has some smart things built into it so that you can say, okay, what are the action steps? And if you're using Zoom as a sales call, like what were the objections that I need to overcome in my follow-up emails?
Okay.
So that's something that could be really powerful if any of the artists, musicians are using Zoom for any kind of client prospecting calls, that you have this tool to help you.
That's cool. I didn't know about that. It will help you walk through objections. How cool is that?
Yeah.
And really, objections are just fears that people have, right? It's like, okay.
Right. So that's what we're talking. That's what we were talking about before. And just to give like a little bonus mindset work for our creative indie artists. Yeah. So we talked in the first session about how our creative brains are going to, whenever we feel fear, we're going to come up with stories about why something's a bad idea. Yep. Your customers are doing that too. And the thing is that often we think that they are not making a decision based on their valuation of us. However, that's not always true.
Yep.
Sometimes it's their own valuation of themselves.
Yeah.
If they're worth investing in. So I'm just going to make this very musical related. Let's just pretend I was planning a huge party and I'm going to hire a band.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not trying to decide if your band, if your trio, if your quartet is worth $5,000. That's not what's going through my mind. I'm trying to decide if I'm worth $5,000, if my party is worth $5,000, if that is what's worth investing in. If I'm selling a piece of art to somebody, they're not trying to decide if my $5,000 artwork is worth $5,000. They're trying to decide if they're worth spending $5,000 to get something that they want. So we get so caught up in ourselves thinking that they're making this decision about us. We forget that they're making a decision about themselves. They need to believe that they are worth it. So that's how we often lose them, because here we are trying to prove why we're worth $5,000. They're trying to decide if they're worth $5,000.
Right. It's value, right? Everything's tied to value.
Yeah. So inside the book Artpreneur, there is an overcoming objections chart, which you should really check out, because what I do in that chart, it's not just about what are the magic words to say, because that's never what it's about. It's not about getting yes at any cost. It's about really starting with that empathy for your customer. This is why we're talking about like not being a robot, not AI-ifying things, but having that humanity to understand where your customer is coming from and what they might be thinking and feeling. So that chart is inside Artpreneur. And if you want the first chapter of Artpreneur for free, you can go to schulmanart.com/believe, or you can DM me the word believe on my Instagram handle, which is schulmanart.
Okay, perfect. So definitely take advantage of that. How cool. This AI tool leads back to, the human part, and the human
it always does.
Leads back to the AI.
You can't like ignore that. Okay, the second tool that I like is called Opus. It's not expensive. Like for $9.99 a month, you can upload any video. So it could be, tell me some videos that maybe your indie artist might have.
They might have videos of themselves singing. They may have promotional videos. They may have lives. Like some of my crowdfunding clients are going live every week, and so
okay, let's talk about the live. Let's say they're going live, and what are they doing live? Are they talking or singing or
a little bit of both?
Okay, perfect. That's perfect. So you plop that whole video with the talking and the singing or whatever is happening. You plop it in, and it will pick out highlight clips. And you can say you want a 30-second, you can say you want a 60-second, and you can make it vertical, you can make it horizontal. It puts the captions right on it. And then you can edit any extra words out that they got wrong. It takes a while to upload and for it to process. But in terms of my time, it takes so little time for me to then have all these clips available for using on social media. So I don't have to be a filmmaker anymore. It'll just plop out like, oh, here's this clip about whatever, Jess talking about the meaning behind the song. That's perfect. Let's pull that out. So otherwise you would have to be going through that whole thing, going through the transcript, picking it out, video editing. Saves so much time.
I'm excited for that one. I like that one. Okay.
The third chat I wrote down here is ManyChat. Third tool, is ManyChat. Those of you who DM'd me the word believe, you will see ManyChat in action. So
test it out. DM her.
DM me. It's Schulmanart, SCHULMANART. If you DM me the word believe, my robot will talk to you. It'll ask for your name. It'll ask for your email. It will give you the chapter. But the other thing we're using it for is whenever I have a podcast episode, we've been making up a keyword and we'll say, okay, beneath this video or beneath this thing, if you want to listen to the full podcast, DM me the word, whatever it is. Let's mom. I don't know, whatever the keyword happens to be. So once you have those clips made from your Opus tool, and let's say you have a clip of your gig, and just give me some context, like what would be maybe something you might do on one of these videos
on the lives.
Yeah.
Talking about the story behind the campaign that you're running right now, talking about the story behind the crowdfund.
Okay. So and there's usually a free gift that comes with the crowdfund, I'm assuming, like if you want this free t-shirt or you want this.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a reward. Well, it's not necessarily free if they crowdfund, but they can get a free gift for being on email and keeping in touch with the artists.
Right. So usually with the crowdfund, they get certain perks, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would
CD or like a signed
Great.
book,
so you might have that 60-minute clip that has part of the song. Hey, you want this whole thing? That is what my Patreon clients get. DM me the word Robin. I'm just making this up, but like maybe it has something to do with your song, like or Blackbird, DM me the word Blackbird and I'll tell you more. So then when you get the DM coming into your inbox, you can either manually do it, but ManyChat will make it easier that anytime someone DMs you the word Blackbird, you get them signed up for your Patreon or whatever you're using. Kickstarter, whatever it happens to be. Do you see how that works together?
It does. Yeah, you can attach a link to whatever word they comment.
That's right. We like to grab their name and email for them because if you just give them the link, half of them won't ever click on it. They'll be like, oh, I'll do it later. People are lazy.
Yeah.
And we know that because we're lazy.
We're lazy too. Yep.
That's right. Like how many times have you said, oh, okay, I got it. And then you forgot.
Yeah.
You never went back to it. So we do like to grab their name and email and then have the robots add them for us.
So you grab their name and email in the DM. You send them a link saying, hey, put your name and email here and I'll send you.
No.
Or no, you just grab their name and email event.
You DM me the word believe and you will see exactly what I do. I get your name. I get your email.
Oh, you have to type it in the chat. Oh, that's smart. I've seen it that way. I've seen it many different ways. So hey, what's your name? You type it in. Hey, what's your email? They type it in.
That's right.
Then you send them the link.
Nope.
No.
Then we add their name and email to our list and my MailChimp sends them the free thing. So it comes to their email address. But then I'll say, hey, if you want it right now, you can click the button right here. Like after I got their name and email, because it's so important to get their name and email.
Okay. That's really good because I believe email list is everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I love that process. And it's happened so many different ways for me. So I get confused which way is the best. I think this is the best way. I think this is the best.
Yeah. And now that's the type of thing. If you don't want to use ManyChat because you have a small list, like I have a huge list. I have over 30 something thousand followers on Instagram. And whenever we're doing promotions, we get a lot of DMs. So we do have to automate it. So I just want you to know that ManyChat is actually, when you're starting out, that is one tool you probably could skip. So I never want people to feel they need a Ferrari when a Toyota will do. Right. So you can literally watch what I do inside the DMs for the free chapter. You can do that manually. You have to wait. When somebody DMs you the word, you say, hey, it sounds like you're looking for this. Is that right? And then they wait till they confirm. I say, okay, well, let me get your real name because you have their handle. What's your first name and what's your email? And ask them. And then you manually put them onto your email list and send them the thing.
Okay, got it.
Totally do that. That's fine. You do not have to complicate it if you have a small following.
Yeah. No, that's really good. Okay. What's next?
All right. The next one I have is Loom. So once you get your business babysitter, you may want to teach them how to do things. One of the many ways I use Loom for is like I might record using Loom a video where I'm screen sharing what it is that I'm doing. And then I can send it to them. And then my team has that video forever. So if I hire a different business babysitter, this is the process now, how to set up your email campaign, or this is the process now, how to do whatever.
Right.
that's one of the many ways we use Loom, but I also use it to talk to my clients. If I want to help them with their website, I may record a video of me walking through the website, telling them what they need to change, how they need to make their website better. And I will send them that video. So it has me talking them through it. That's one of the many ways we use Loom.
Okay, great. I've heard of Loom. So every time you say something, I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard of doing that. I have a question, maybe after we finish with Chat GPT, but it is, you can tell me if you want to answer it now or after, but it is, how do you decide which one to apply first? That's my question. Maybe you want to go into Chat GPT first and then answer this question, or do you want to
Which
answer
of
it now?
these tools you mean?
Yeah, like what
use first?
What's the first one?
Okay, so the thing is like I said, like ManyChat, if you have a small list, you don't need it. You don't have to use that one until you can't keep up with the manual amount of the amount of DMs coming your way. Like if you only have a handful of DMs coming your way, you don't need that. Fathom, if you're not doing Zoom meetings with clients and prospects and team, you don't need that. Opus, I think that's something that you need video.
Everybody needs that.
And this is a way that you can really, and it's not so much like I have someone on my team that helps me with video. So it's not so much that I've gotten rid of that person. So just like we're talking about in the earlier session, it's just now she gets to do other things.
Right.
Like now she can work on my YouTube videos instead of like making clips all the time. So they still like will make clips for me, but like I can make more clips than I did before and faster. So that I think would be a good one to start with. And then ChatGPT is great. Claude is also great. It's a competitor. And I've heard very good things about it. So,
and that's what we were describing in the free portion of this, which is how do I reply to an email? How should I write an email? I've heard prompts like act as my marketing chief of marketing and write me, or like act as a copywriter.
Yeah, I don't tell it act like a whatever. I don't. No. I just say, how would you respond to this? And there's certain things that ChatGPT always does wrong that no matter how many times sometimes I call him Hal. No matter how many times I tell Hal not to do it that way, he does it that way anyway.
Yeah.
So just to be careful, like he always starts with very corporate, I hope this email finds you well. And do not start an email like that, especially if you don't know the person. That's very weird.
It is weird.
Like it's weird. So be careful with that one. Yeah. And also try to make it creative, which isn't creative. Like, I hope this email finds you in musical spirits. Like it was like that was so weird. Okay, so that's just, have you seen that too?
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes, well, and this is where I get to get better at training my team, because sometimes we'll put something on a website and I'll be like, what is that? Right? So you really need to be like involved.
Yes. And it loves the word journey too. It's like the profound journey. I was like, oh God, not another journey story. So yeah,
it's so funny. Yeah, no, and it's cool because a lot of my artists, they're writing stories for their crowdfund, and it's just so much better than ChatGPT. It's like, wow, there's nothing that can replace a storyteller. Like we're artists, we're storytellers.
So if you're using ChatGPT to do anything, here are the deadly sins you need to get rid of. Hope your email finds you. Blah blah blah. It does not use contractions, and it should. Like I am, do not. Like put contractions in. And the worst offense that it makes is it uses hesitant language, which you do not want to use ever, 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 especially for crowdfunding, crowdfunding or any kind of sales thing. You never say, well, my music aims to, and I hope to. That's hesitant language.
That's good.
Get rid of that. ChatGPT loves to use it, and I cannot teach ChatGPT not to use it. I just have to take it out.
Okay.
Like if I tell it don't use hesitant language, it doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It just uses it anyway.
What do you replace it with? Like what's an example?
Okay. So my music aims to
inspire,
make you feel sad. Just say, my music is sad. Like, you don't have to say I hope my music, or my music aims to, or my mission is to. Just if you pretty much, whatever the sentence is, if you get rid of aim to, mission, strives, hopes.
Yeah.
If you just remove that section from the sentence, you'll be fine.
Yeah. My music is sad. End of story.
Right. So what it's called is, I actually took my writing from my book Artpreneur, and I plopped it into one of those AI tools, one of the ones that predated ChatGPT. And it said my tone was unapologetically confident.
Okay.
That's the language you need, though, to sell.
Got it. Okay.
Not apologizing.
Can you put that in ChatGPT in the tone of, no?
Not really. I told you, like, I've tried, and it still throws in an aim to and mission and strives. And so I just edited it out. Remember, last mile. It's the last mile that's going to make a difference.
Yeah. Wow. This is really good. So I love that you prioritize which ones might be the most important. I think, like you said, Opus and ChatGPT or Claude would be the first places to start, because we all need content. So start with your content and start refining that, being unapologetically confident.
Yeah.
And then go from there, right? It's like, okay, you can build from there. It's good to know what's out there, but one thing at a time. So this is great, Miriam. Thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge on AI. This is so fun to talk about too, because it really is where the world is going. And we don't have to be burnt out by our business. We can use these tools to actually live freedom, live a lifestyle we want to live. So thank you so much for sharing. And from the perspective of an artist, it's very powerful. So thank you.
All right. Well, thanks for having me, Jess.
Yeah. And definitely remember to download Miriam's free gift, her first chapter of her book, Believe.
Here's Artpreneur.
There it is.
Here
Awesome.
It's also in
Bestseller.
Korean.
Oh my gosh. Multiple.
How cool is that, right?
That is so cool.
I know. And my mom lives in Fort Lee, and she says, can we get it for the Korean American Book Club? And my agent says, no, it's only available in Korea. It's like, okay.
Are you Korean?
No, but they sold the rights. Like, they sold the rights to it.
Wow.
No, but Fort Lee is very Korean.
That's so cool. Well, that's when it's going to multiple languages. It's international. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So definitely download Miriam's free gift.
Well, that's a wrap. To find anything we talked about during today's episode, you can go to the show notes, schulmanart.com/314. But just to wrap up, we had a couple of free gifts for you today. One is go to schulmanart.com/believe, or DM me the word believe to get your free chapter of Artpreneur. If you've already read the book and you want to get a hand on those 52 art journal prompts, we're giving that away to anyone who leaves an honest review on Amazon. So to do that, go to schulmanart.com/Amazon and then take a screenshot of it and email it to Miriam@theinspirationplace.net. And finally, don't forget that we're going to be coming to you live from Amazon on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And if you want to catch up on any of the past live streams, you can just head on over to schulmanart.com/live streams. So I hope to see you there. All right, my friend, we'll see you next week, same time, same place. Until then, stay inspired. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Inspiration Place podcast. Connect with us on Facebook at facebook.com/SchulmanArt, on Instagram @SchulmanArt, and of course on schulmanart.com.